Hey, what's up guys, it's Elastic Spider here, and in today's video we've got yet another community replay, this time featuring Stuntman. He's from the EU server, and he's playing with his buddy, also in the Minotaur, Master Ali. If you'd like to send us a community replay, send it to BIAworldofwarships@gmail.com. Include obviously the game replay and the post-battle results, as well as a short description. So we're getting right into the action here, looking at the map of Okinawa, and Master Ali and Stuntman go right to A. A bit of a ballsy and interesting move. Typically, I don't do this personally. I do like the maneuverability and the spaciousness of B and C, but they are in Minotaurs, so I can't totally blame them. Unfortunately, no one is spotting for them. Again, been unfortunate. Our carrier is not able to get a spot on him, so they're just gonna have to be sitting blind for the most part. That is again part of the reason why running two Minotaurs is kind of, you do run into this situation where at one point you're gonna have to have someone else spotting for you, and you can't self-spot very well with only Hydro. It could work if, let's say, you got radar, but even then, it's still, you're only spotting for a very short amount of time. Granted, 35-40 seconds is decently long. It's still, you know, is quite short relative to how much damage per shell these Minotaur shells can do. Of course, when you're getting broadside like this, you can start to see how much damage you really do rack in. A very consistent 2k a pop. Des Moines is radaring. Master Ali takes the brunt of the attack, but Stuntman, he is able to finish off the North Carolina. Torpedoes didn't hit anything, surprisingly, and Des Moines is about half health, and he's out of his smoke. At this range, I don't know who would win. I'm thinking if the Minotaur stays bow in, it can actually be quite potent, and you can get pretty solid pens on the Des Moines, no problem. So it is a bit of a toss-up, but again, you can see there are 9 bounces, and a lot of them are also shattering as well, only getting a few good penetrations. So, of course, Stuntman's torpedoes are currently not reloaded, so that is also a factor that someone needs to account for, or Stuntman needs to account for. But luckily for him, he's got a Des Moines in support, and Des Moines versus Des Moines battle is an interesting one at that. So, at this point, Master Ali died, but we've also taken one of their battleships, and just as I speak of the devil, we lost a battleship as well. So we are down in terms of ships. Stuntman corrects that. Now we're just down in cap advantage and map control. You can see the enemy team has a pretty good foothold on B, and they are currently in the process of capturing C. Most of Stuntman's team is actually quite a ways away from Objective Charlie, so looks like Stuntman's gonna head over there, let that Zhao cap A. I personally probably would have capped and come around the backside, but we'll see how this turns out. There's decent support at B. Looks like an Otago, and the Des Moines is actually coming back around behind Stuntman, probably to stick to his smoke. Maybe a fan, maybe not. We don't know. Should have asked Stunt that. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't checked Stunt's channel out already, you should definitely go do that. He is a great YouTuber. He does a lot of like he doesn't leak the stats, but he analyzes and talks about these stats. A lot of very interesting content, as well as he does a lot of game mechanics too. Whenever I've got a question about how the game works, Stuntman is the guy that I pretty much always go to, unless I can, you know, find it on something like game models or even the wiki itself. But yeah, so go check his channel out. I'll leave a link in the description, so go check that out and tell him that Spider sent you. So, Stuntman is going into B because, all in all, he is a destroyer at the end of the day. He's got his Hydro up and dodging them pretty easily. Got to be careful, though. You can see he's got priority target, and you can see 3 people aiming at him, but he's doing a good job of constantly maneuvering and changing his course and speed. Very, very well played there. A lot of people in that situation would have panicked and actually not gotten onto the cap, but Stuntman had the patience and the whereabouts to know that he's okay, waiting for the shells to come in, and then he repairs. Of course, that is the most ideal thing to do. Of course, with the replay system, we don't know if Stuntman is running manual fire control for those planes. I personally run it. I think it's a great addition for the Minotaur. I would assume that he would, knowing Stuntman, but I wouldn't have popped the heel yet. But again, I guess my personal preference. Clemson gets spotted, or Benson. I don't know why I said Clemson. Bad eyes, I guess. Benson gets spotted, most likely Des Moines radar. There's no way that, or maybe there, I don't know. Yeah, I think it was the Des Moines radar, or something. But in any case, Stuntman is getting some nice hits on him, and he actually kills him. You can see there, even smoke cloud doesn't prevent you from a Minotaur. So if that's not OP, I don't know what is. Rune sailing broadside. Stuntman moved out of his smoke. He still had some time, but it looked like there was maybe torpedoes coming his way or something. He's in a bit of a sticky situation here, though. He's got a rune to his front, an Iowa behind that rune that just shot at him, who luckily missed. But then he's also got people to his east as well. So overall, not a very good position. And just to add to that, he's got a Terp. It's 13 kilometers away. But somehow the little destroyer Minotaur is dealing with that rather fine. No problems with that whatsoever. And he actually goes undetected. I would have liked to see him stay in the cap, actually. But it does look like planes are possibly heading his way, so he's going to have to bugger out. So, 10 minutes in, where are we sitting at? Well, Stuntman's team has since moved pretty much all the way towards A. Our Kiev is shattering our carrier for God knows what reason. And Stuntman takes a massive hit, but it's okay because he's got heal. And look at that. 10k to 12k to 14 to... Oh my gosh, that is the one thing that is amazing about this Minotaur heal. Stuntman instantly repairs and starts nailing this Montana. Gotta be careful not to go out of his smoke, because it looks like he's going a little too fast. And of course, you gotta be careful. One thing to note, and he actually completely forgets about it. Interesting move there. I would have backed up and held my fire for a little bit, but interesting move that he actually does that. Again, a bit of a difference in playstyle, but he's still railing this Moskva for a couple thousand per pop, given that the Moskva was broadside. Now the damage has kind of fallen off, and the range is starting to impact him quite a bit. So, Stuntman at this point is running away. I don't blame him. He's on half health. Any sort of good hits can inhibit him from playing and even contributing to the rest of this match. So he has to be careful. Again, a lot of times when my smoke is up, unless I know I'm completely safe, I wouldn't be shooting. In this situation, it's okay for Stuntman to be shooting. You can see this is why you should always run priority target on your cruisers, because anytime you see a 1 or 2 or 3 next to your little indicator there, you know that you're in for some big doo-doo, and you need to be very aware of your surroundings. So again, Stuntman sees that, so he is constantly paying attention, hitting Q and E. I'm sure he was looking at the map too, and assessing this situation. And then looks like he's gonna stop shooting. Again, probably trying to get on the B is my next guess. gets spotted, most likely from a destroy. Oh no, it wasn't fully concealed after the debuff. That Zhao gets railed from who knows what, but I'm sure Stuntman doesn't care, nor does his team. However, Yamato's on pretty low health. Maybe Stuntman's going to try and smoke him, probably what I would do. Granted, Stuntman only has one heal left, and again, he's only got one smoke left, and he's about half health. Yamato's looking like he's gonna go down, and of course, Stuntman's gonna have to smoke up. Torpedoes landed, stopped right there, and now he's gonna start pelting the Iowa. He turned a little too much to the left. That's okay. Minotaur has decent maneuverability, so it can quickly fix that situation. We talked about manual fire control earlier. It does not look like Stuntman actually has manual fire control, or he's not using it currently. I would try and help the carrier, just as a generous tip. I would turn in broadside. I do not blame him at all, though, because this is some nasty, nasty damage that he's putting out. You can see they're almost 4K a pop, and this is 2,600, 500. It's just, when people say the Minotaur is like a T10 Atlanta that only fires AP, it really is. And it's probably even better than the Atlanta in that respect. So, Stuntman just completely wrecked this Iowa, no problem. Looks like he's shooting into smoke, or no, just above him, or something. Oh, those were actually meant for him. Decently close. Stuntman's out of smoke, so he's gonna have to fight the rest of these cruisers. They are cruisers, so it's not that bad. It's better to fight cruisers than it is battleships. And he's gonna, looks like he's gonna take on this rune. Surprisingly, against enemy cruisers, the Minotaur is somewhat tanky. I say that very loosely. Well, that was unexpected. A Citadel going through that deck armor, apparently, or something. That's what it looked like on my screen. There's the Kraken Unleashed. Again, whenever I play and I see the Kraken, I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? Because most of the time I'm not paying attention. That Zhao overshoots, and Stuntman was just shy of a double strike, I'm sure. But he finishes that Zhao off. And now I'm sure he's probably going to go after the Moskva. I won't blame him all that much. Pops that heal just for a little bit. I mentioned earlier, again, I don't like to pop my heal in these low health situations where I'm not able to heal a lot. Maybe that's partially because I've got self-diagnosed OCD or whatever, but I just like to see my health go from a little bit to a lot. But again, I'm kind of nitpicking at that at best. Of course, before the two last kills that Stuntman got, I was mentioning how tanky the Minotaur can be. Again, I'm using kind of air quotes with this. It can be kind of tanky. That's a nice 7th kill. He can be quite tanky. Granted that even though it has a rather large citadel, if you stay at about 30 degrees, no matter what, almost all the shells are going to bounce, assuming that they're like from a cruiser, they're going to bounce when they are shot at your main armor belt. So since the Minotaur does have pretty good gun firing angles, it is able to swing out its stern and actually pop those rear turrets into play if it needs to, or it can just use its front guns. That is also possible. The other thing is that the Minotaur has pretty good torpedo angles. Again, not the best, but it's got workable, I'll say workable, torpedo angles, and that can help it, of course, in close quarter engagements. Obviously, besides the raw DPM, these are just small things. So it looks like we've got a fan in chat asking Stuntman about how he's doing. It looks like a couple fans. So far, pretty much a good game. Only the carrier left. No way he's getting solo warrior, unfortunately. Getting some nice pens. Looks like he might be either bouncing off the main armor belt or the deck. It doesn't look like the deck because it looks like he's actually penning that deck. But I could be wrong. This is going to be finishing off the game here. Managed to get high caliber as well. And he's going to... let's see if he will kill this. He should be able to. And there's the kill. What a great game. Alright guys, so looking at the screenshots here. Stuntman, again, like I said, great game. 742,000 credits earned, 4,000 XP, and some nice free XP for, I'm guessing he's still working on that Missouri, not sure. 200, almost 20,000 damage with exactly 500 shell hits. Illuminati confirmed. 8 kills, 1 Citadel, 5 base defense. Confederate First Blood Dreadnought, Kraken Unleashed, and High Caliber, of course. Of course, he places top on his team. 5 planes shot down, 2,980 base XP, doing quite well for himself and his team. Wouldn't call it a hard carry, but considering the Friedrich at the bottom did not do anything, I would say this was a pretty good carry. His buddy Master Ali didn't fare too well. He got pretty much wrecked in by the Des Moines, but he got some decent base XP for how early he died. Detailed report, potential damage, 1.3 million damage shot at him. I'm sure a lot of that was in smoke, but a lot of it was also dodging those shells when he went into B. Of course, he's going to get pretty much all his damage from his armor piercing. Missed a lot of torpedoes, but that's, of course, not as much of his own fault as it is the good play of the enemy team. So that was pretty good. Finally, credits 460 grand. He's running Zulu flag to get a little bit more credits, probably because he doesn't have his Missouri yet, which he should. Master Ali, if you need to buy him one, do it. But any case, it's kind of an inside joke, but whatever. Stuntman needs some more money, so but he's looking pretty good. 460 grand is not bad. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, if you would like to send us a replay, send it to BIAworldofwarships@gmail.com. And again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check Stuntman's channel out, and I'll see you guys later.